Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. This is Living in Denver, Colorado. Super unique one today. Yeah. I have to say that, or I say fun. It's either unique, it's fun,
or phenomenal.
It might be unique and fun.
And phenomenal.
Either way, Castle Rock, pro and con. Here we go.
Phenomenal. Let's go. What's up, guys? We are the Mile High Property Brothers. I am Eli Schmidt. This is my business partner, Will Grimes. If it's your first time visiting the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we come out with new videos every Tuesday and every Thursday, and we tell you everything there is to know about moving to or living in the Denver, Colorado area.
And as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you guys with your real estate needs. So that number below, we are the guys who answer the phone calls, we are the guys who respond to the text messages, and we are the guys who respond to the emails. So whether it's us or part of our team that's helping you guys with your real estate needs here in Colorado, we would love to accomplish that for you. But with that being said, today on the agenda, Castle Rock, pros and cons of living here, and just giving you guys some food for thought as far as what that looks like for you. So here we go, getting right into it.
Okay, guys, as always, starting off with a little geography lesson. So if you're looking at Castle Rock on a map, it is going to sit about 30-40 minutes north of Colorado Springs. It's going to sit about 30-40 minutes south of Denver. So really unique positioning in the state. You're sitting right in between the two biggest hubs in the entire state. So I guess that could be one of the first pros right there, guys. But Castle Rock additionally sits just below Castle Pines, which is a little subset of Castle Rock, kind of little sister.
Yeah, so not centrally located in the state, but centrally located as far as like a lot of the major areas that you might want to visit when coming to Colorado, or when you're living here, centrally located to maybe where you guys want to travel or commute to, whether it's work or for personal reasons. Colorado Springs, great areas to be. Denver, obviously great areas to be. And more importantly is just northwest of that, you've got Boulder, you've got the Rocky Mountain National Park. So Castle Rock kind of sits centrally into a lot of different places that you guys might want to be. We're already getting calls on this video. Ironic, but yeah, great. And I always love how we say, if you're looking at a map, you're looking at a map because we put the map on the video. So there you go. Hopefully this is helping you guys just as far as like where it is. We do a lot of like Southeast Aurora, a lot of Parker, a lot of Highlands Ranch. We are directly south of that, resting in Castle Rock.
Our first pro, guys, diving right into it. In my opinion, Castle Rock is one of the most undervalued places in Colorado. Why, you may ask? Castle Rock has so many of the primary features of what people are looking for when they move to Colorado. First of all, being the scenery. The scenery down here, guys, once you get south of Parker, it opens up. It feels like you're in Colorado. There's foothills, there's bluffs, there's gorgeous scenery, there's space out here. Not all the houses are crammed on top of one another. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Dude looks at me all day. Apparently I'm not good scenery.
See, when I say
has never mentioned it one time.
When I say gorgeous.
He wants to tell everybody that I'm his whatever. Never wants to mention the scenery he gets out of it though.
So in addition to that scenery, guys, the houses down here are still very, very affordable. You know, what you can get for $750,000 in Castle Rock is amazing compared to what you can get for
out of this
$750,000
world.
in Denver.
There's things even in the 400s that are still great. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I guess if you want to go with con, we'll go with a con real quick just to balance these things out. Is the growth of Castle Rock is definitely rapid. You've got a lot of outlet stores that have been here a long time, but you've got more stores on top of that are coming. However, Castle Rock reminds me a little bit of like Southern California because you've got like the main highway, I-25, and then you've got so many different hills. You can't really see all the population down here. Very similar to Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs is actually bigger than Aurora. population-wise. You just can't see it because of all the hills, and you have to actually drive off of the highway into these different neighborhoods. So you don't feel the population as much as like a traditional suburbia or traditional city that's a lot more flat, where you can see everything that's been being built. But it's still here. It still gets busy. And I guess the bigger con is when you have outlet stores, you're going to get a lot of people from outside of Castle Rock or outside of your city coming into your city to shop. So there's still going to be an influx of whether people live here or not. Some of those outlet stores and other commercial stores that are here might stay busy year-round. That's not a con for you if it doesn't bother you. Hey, cool. The benefit to the growth is there's so much coming out here. It's not just the outlets that are super busy anymore. You've got so much to shop around here, which I think levels everything back out. But something to consider anytime you're in a town like this or a city like this, all of the out-of-towners coming in to shop at your outlets. So food for thought.
Man, Will is so good at those segues, because that brings me into my next pro. Could be a con to some, the way he positioned it, but overall I think it's a pro. The shopping and dining and stuff for you to do with your family is huge out here, guys. Castle Rock is a very, very, very family-friendly place. There's a ton of rec centers that actually get utilized, a whole bunch of them. There's a ton of parks, there's a ton of shopping, there's a ton of dining. Where I live in Parker, there's not really good shopping. There's not a whole ton of restaurants. Castle Rock makes up for a lot of that. When us in Parker, we're either going to Southeast Aurora or coming to Parker if we're trying to go out and have a little bit of fun or go to a restaurant.
He's that out-of-towner coming to your town, eating your food, buying your stuff.
I am.
Remember that. Remember that. There's a lot of Eli's coming in and coming out. Make sure they're respectful when they're in your town.
That's right.
But I'm really trying to look for something that could be a con for you. Public transportation, it's not as prevalent out here as it would be like more in your Denver metro area. However, with Uber and Lyft and a lot of people just driving their own vehicles, man, it's not irrelevant, but it's not necessarily needed as much for people that are choosing to live out here. When you get into the heart of the city, a lot of people don't even own vehicles and they just merely rely on public transportation. So it's not that dynamic down here, and that's not why people are living down here. But even if you do have your own transportation, which I'm sure you do, depending on the weather, especially in the winter, I-25 between Castle Rock and Lone Tree, that elevation shift is a little steep, and a lot of times the highway freezes over, and sometimes they do have to shut that down. You'd have to take back ways back up toward Denver metro area. So it doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen sometimes. I guess if weather is that bad and how well people can work remotely nowadays, might not be a huge hindrance, but it is something to consider. So even though it is super close to Lone Tree and Southeast Aurora and Denver Tech Center, that one stretch between Lone Tree and Castle Rock, still a little bit risky sometimes with highway stuff, highway conditions in the winter. Still something to think about.
That is a great point, guys. Just to touch on that a little more, the light rail service, the last stop on the south side of the light rail service is Ridgegate Parkway. That is in Lone Tree. So if you are planning on taking light rail up to Denver and you live in Castle Rock, you're going to have to drive to Ridgegate. There is a huge parking lot there where you can park your car. Ridgegate is just a few minutes up the highway, and then you can take the light rail wherever you need to go.
Pro.
What do we got?
Trails. Outdoor recreation centers, rec centers. We've shown a lot of this, so I'm sure we're showing this right now. Just the outdoor stuff that you have, the rock climbing courses, the soccer fields, the baseball fields, the zip lines. What park am I talking about? Pop quiz?
Philip S. Miller Park.
Philip S. Miller Park. Is that Castle Rock?
That is.
Hell yeah, it is. And I knew that. I was quizzing him. I wasn't asking him. Phenomenal place. But in addition to that, even places like the Rock Park where we're at right now, ton of trails. You can climb up to the actual Castle Rock, and then there's some of these neighborhoods, just all the outdoor experience that you have, and then a lot of these national parks that are protected or built parks for you to take your family to. And I'm pretty sure Philip S. Miller also has an indoor pool and some other things inside of it in addition to everything it provides outside. So readily available right in the heart of Castle Rock is just every opportunity to be active with yourself or your family or your loved ones. Super cool. If you have anybody traveling into town, Phillip Park. Probably unlike what a lot of people have ever seen before. Really cool. And while you're out enjoying the outdoor world, the scenery, the views that you guys are gonna have of the mountains and everything else, amazing. Just a really fun place to be, and you don't really get views like this unless you are kind of in Boulder or somewhere else up north. But bang for buck, what you're paying down here versus what you're paying in Boulder, night and day. And a lot of folks that aren't from Colorado don't think they're gonna have that experience because Boulder and some other places are highly accredited, they're nationally known, and you think that's the experience. There's so much more, especially when it comes to views and outdoor experiences, outside of the Boulders and the Leadvilles or the Vales that you have. And again, bang for buck, what you're gonna pay for it, way less. It's way less, and way more family friendly.
Yep, yeah, very much so. And to bring up our last point, guys, this is gonna be a combo pro-con depending on how you look at it.
Over here.
Yeah, so to finish off, guys, the combo pro-con here is the proximity of Castle Rock to the highway. So what's interesting about that is if you look on a map, we are physically a lot further away from the Denver metro area, it looks like. However, because Castle Rock sits right on top of the highway and surrounds it very closely, if you are going up to Denver, you're a couple minutes from getting on the highway and then you're shooting straight up north. Me and Parker, it takes me longer to get to Denver than it does, and I'm way further north than Castle Rock. It takes me longer to get to Denver from Parker than it does from Castle Rock to Denver, because
the commute to the highway.
I have to drive 10, 12, 15 minutes just to get to the highway to head up north. In Castle Rock, you don't have to do that.
Right, depending on where you live in Castle Rock.
Yep.
And a lot of it's been built very near I-25. Now, I guess the con to that would be is, yes, depending on your proximity to the highway, yes, you can hear a little bit of highway noise. It's not so much where like you can't dampen it out, or it's not like you're hearing it and it's overwhelming inside of your house, but like right now, we can hear motorcycles and some cars and things like that. So again, it doesn't bother most people if you are looking for absolute peace and quiet in your backyard without any noise at all. You're gonna have to push back just a little bit further in Castle Rock. It's not like all of it has any noise, but a lot of the development so far, because it is still somewhat newer, with all the development that they're pushing down here, you are going to get some of that noise. But again, not a deal breaker for me, not a deal breaker for most. You're inside your house, it's quiet. It's more so if you're outside in your yard or in the neighborhood or at the park, you're still going to hear some of that.
Yeah, and for the most part, Castle Rock has done a great job keeping most of the commercial buildings closer to the highway, and then there is a short little drive to the suburban neighborhood. So most places that you go, you're not going to be able to hear the highway. It is going to be the kind of calm, peaceful, active Castle Rock scenery that you guys are looking for.
Correct, and they've done a great job with the development of the highway of I-25 just down here. So whether you're going south into Colorado Springs or you're headed up north, it's been widened. It's a really good flow now. It used to be a lot more congested, but it looks like they've really kept up with the expansion of I-25 and the expectation of everybody that's coming here. They've done a great job with that. That's all I can kind of think of. I know we were trying to force some cons, and again, guys, pro and cons, let's be real, it's subjective. Some things you're gonna, some things that bother me won't bother you. Some things that bother you aren't gonna bother me. So we're really trying to just give you guys a good, diverse opinion and outlook as far as what we see and observe from being locals here in Colorado and observing Castle Rock. Again, some of these things might not bother you at all, but we'd rather just try our best to give you some things that might be bothersome, maybe not deal breakers, but either way, giving you an honest take at what Castle Rock looks like. And man, my biggest point is bang for buck. If you hear a little bit of highway, but the amount of house that you get down here, the Douglas County schools that are down here, there's so many more pros to a con. Again, subjective. You have to make that decision, but make sure that your deal breakers are actual deal breakers. And the best way you can figure that out is coming into those areas, observing it for yourself before you make a decision on what you think is a deal breaker. So if you heard highway just now and that you can kind of hear it, maybe come here and turn that stone and listen to it first before you exit out, because there's so many great things about Castle Rock. Man, if you're gonna X this one off of your list, man, come here, feel it, observe it before you make that decision and choose to just pass it up. Definitely not a good idea.
So that's it, guys. Again, appreciate you watching this channel. If you guys have not done so yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Again, every Tuesday, Thursday, we're coming out with new videos for you. If you guys... Thank you.
He's getting tired.
Taking care
His
of
old
my
guns
arm
are
here.
getting tired.
They are. Again, guys, if you see the phone number at the bottom of the screen, we are the guys that answer the phone. We are the ones that respond to the text messages. If you have any real estate needs at all or questions, hit us up. We're here for you.
And again, as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you guys with your real estate needs. So until next time, you guys enjoy your week, and we will see you in a couple days.
See you guys.
Take care, guys.